Our planet dances to the rhythm of the extraordinary, offering up spectacles that stretch the very fabric of reality. From the enchanting to the eerie, Earth unfurls an array of natural phenomena so surreal, they must be seen to be truly believed. These marvels remind us that the world is not just a place to live, but a mystery to be unraveled. With phenomena ranging from the whimsically wonderful to the downright daunting, each corner of the globe holds a story waiting to be told. Join us as we explore the 30 most bizarre natural phenomena. Number 30. Ringing rocks. Deep in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, lies a field that seems ordinary at first glance, a jumble of rocks scattered across the landscape. But pick up a hammer and strike one of these stones, and you'll hear something extraordinary. The rock rings like a bell. This peculiar phenomenon, known as the ringing rocks, has puzzled scientists and intrigued visitors for years. The rocks are composed primarily of a type of iron-rich basalt, and it's believed that their unusual ability to produce a resonant tone is due to the specific way the minerals within the rocks are bonded. The exact conditions that make these rocks ring, however, are still not fully understood. Despite numerous studies, including those that have attempted to replicate the effect in a lab, the true secret behind the ringing rocks remains elusive. Number 29. Raining animals. Snakes can be anywhere, and this natural phenomenon proves it. When the sky opens up and rain starts falling, the last thing you'd expect is for animals to come down with it. Yet, throughout history, people have reported the astonishing phenomenon of raining animals, a surreal event where creatures like fish, frogs, and even snakes fall from the sky. How does this happen? The most accepted explanation involves powerful weather phenomena like tornadoes or waterspouts. These intense updrafts can lift small animals from the ground or water and carry them high into the atmosphere. When the winds subside, the animals are released and fall back to Earth, sometimes miles away from where they started. One of the earliest well-documented instances occurred in 1877 in Memphis, Tennessee, where residents reported a downpour of snakes, with hundreds of them falling from the sky during a storm. Another case took place in Texarkana, Texas, in December 2021, when fish were reported falling from the sky during a storm. Witnesses captured videos of the event, sparking a wave of fascination and bewilderment across social media. Similar events have occurred worldwide, such as raining frogs in Japan and raining spiders in Australia. Number 28. Volcanic lightning. Volcanic lightning is one of nature's most electrifying displays, occurring during a volcanic eruption when the churning ash and volcanic gases generate a powerful static charge. This phenomenon, sometimes called a dirty thunderstorm, is caused by the collision of ash particles within the volcanic plume. As these particles rub together, they create friction, which leads to the buildup of static electricity. When the charge becomes strong enough, it discharges in the form of lightning, illuminating the dark, ash-filled sky. Unlike typical thunderstorms where lightning forms high in the atmosphere, volcanic lightning can occur much closer to the ground within the volcanic column itself. Number 27. Taos hum. In the quiet town of Taos, New Mexico, a strange and persistent sound has left residents puzzled for years. This isn't your ordinary hum. It's a low-frequency drone that only about 2% of the population can hear. Those who do describe it as a constant, irritating background noise that just won't quit. What's even stranger is that despite numerous studies and investigations, no one has been able to pinpoint its source. Some theorize it could be related to unusual acoustics in the area, while others suggest it might be linked to industrial equipment. But the fact remains, the Taos hum defies explanation. It's not just a local phenomenon either. Similar hums have been reported in other parts of the world, from England to New Zealand. The Taos hum stands as a modern mystery, an auditory anomaly that challenges our understanding of sound and the environment. Number 26. Mass whale strandings. Mass whale strandings are one of the ocean's most heart-wrenching and baffling mysteries. It involves hundreds of these majestic creatures beaching themselves in large groups, often leading to tragic outcomes. These events have been recorded for centuries, and yet, despite advances in marine science, the exact cause remains elusive. Several theories attempt to explain why these strandings happen. Some scientists suggest that it might be due to disorientation caused by underwater noise pollution, such as sonar or seismic testing, which interferes with the whale's echolocation. Others believe it could be the result of toxic algae blooms that poison the whales or make them sick. In some cases, like with pilot whales, strong social bonds may lead an entire pod to follow a sick or disoriented leader onto the shore. Interestingly, recent studies using drone footage have observed these whales exhibiting strange behaviors, such as huddling together tightly before stranding themselves. This could indicate that these animals are responding to stress, illness, or confusion, though the precise triggers are still under investigation. Number 25. Ball lightning. Ball lightning is one of the most mysterious and elusive phenomena known to science. Described as glowing, spherical objects that can range from the size of a golf ball to a basketball, these orbs appear during thunderstorms and can last much longer than a typical lightning flash. The colors vary from red, orange, white, to even blue, and reports of ball lightning describe it moving erratically, sometimes even passing through walls or windows without causing damage. What makes ball lightning particularly intriguing is how little we understand about it, even with centuries of reported sightings. Scientists have proposed several theories to explain ball lightning, ranging from plasma formations to microwave radiation trapped within a bubble of air. Yet no single theory has been universally accepted. What's more, the phenomenon is so rare that even capturing it on camera is a feat. Number 24. Catatumbo Lightning. In Venezuela, along the Catatumbo River where it meets Lake Maracaibo, one of the world's most spectacular and persistent natural light shows takes place, Catatumbo Lightning. This phenomenon occurs nearly 260 nights a year, producing an astonishing number of lightning strikes that can last for hours each night. What's even more remarkable is that this lightning doesn't just flash once or twice. It creates an almost continuous storm, with up to 20 strikes per minute. This natural wonder has been so consistent over the centuries that it even earned the nickname the Beacon of Maracaibo. The cause of Catatumbo lightning is a perfect mix of geographic and meteorological factors. The warm waters of Lake Maracaibo create humid air, which then collides with cooler mountain winds descending from the Andes. The result? Massive cumulonimbus clouds that give rise to this never-ending lightning storm. Despite various theories over the years, including everything from methane emissions to underground uranium, the real magic lies in the interplay of heat, moisture, and wind unique to this region. Number 23. Naga Fireballs. Along the Mekong River in Thailand and Laos, something extraordinary happens every year that has both locals and scientists puzzled. During the end of Buddhist Lent, glowing orbs of light rise mysteriously from the river, shooting upwards into the night sky. These fireballs, often described as rosy pink and basketball-sized, are witnessed by thousands who gather for the annual Naga Fireball Festival, a celebration deeply rooted in local legend. The phenomenon is steeped in mythology, with locals believing that the fireballs are the breath of Phaya Nak, a giant serpent said to reside in the Mekong River. However, scientists offer alternative explanations, suggesting that the fireballs could be caused by the spontaneous ignition of methane gas released from the riverbed. Others propose that specific atmospheric conditions, such as the alignment of the Earth, Sun, and Moon, might trigger the event. Despite these theories, there is no consensus, and the Naga Fireballs continue to be a mesmerizing and unexplained spectacle that captivates all who witness it. Number 22. Star Jelly. Here's one of the weirdest and most mysterious substances to ever fall from the sky. Described as a translucent, gelatinous material, star jelly has puzzled people for centuries. Often found on grass or trees after meteor showers, this gooey substance evaporates quickly, leaving scientists and onlookers scratching their heads. Theories about its origin are as varied as they are bizarre. Some suggest it's a regurgitated frog spawn, vomited up by predators like birds. Others speculate it could be the remnants of a meteor, slime mold, or even something as outlandish as pixie vomit. Despite attempts to study it, including DNA analysis, which found traces of frog and magpie, no one has been able to definitively explain where this strange substance comes from or why it appears so fleetingly. Number 21. Krishnas Butterball. In the ancient town of Mahabalipuram, India, there sits an enormous granite boulder that seems to defy the very laws of physics. Known as Krishna's Butterball, this massive rock is about 20 feet tall and 16 feet wide, weighing over 250 tons. The most astonishing part is that it rests precariously on a steep 45-degree slope, touching the ground at only a tiny point. Despite its seemingly unstable position, the rock has not budged for over 1,300 years, surviving attempts by several rulers to move it, including one involving 7 elephants. Its name is derived from Hindu mythology, where it is said to represent a giant dollop of butter stolen by the young god Krishna. Tourists flock to see this natural wonder, marveling at its gravity-defying balance, while scientists and engineers alike are left scratching their heads. Number 20. Blood Sky. In May 2020, residents of Zhoushan, a city in China's Zhejiang province, witnessed something straight out of a nightmare. The sky turned an eerie, deep blood red. Videos of the phenomenon spread rapidly on social media, leaving people both fascinated and terrified. Some speculated that it was a sign of an impending disaster, while others thought it might be a supernatural event. However, the local meteorological bureau quickly launched an investigation and offered a more grounded explanation. The red sky was the result of light from fishing boats being scattered by atmospheric particles through a process known as Rayleigh scattering. This occurs when the light interacts with particles much smaller than its wavelength, causing the light to spread out and create the intense red hue seen across the sky. While the scientific explanation calmed some nerves, the sight itself remains unforgettable, an apocalyptic vision that lingered long after the sky returned to normal. Number 19. Cities in the Sky. Imagine walking outside and looking up to see a city skyline floating among the clouds. This surreal sight has been reported multiple times, particularly in China, where locals in cities like Foshan and Jiangxi have seen what appears to be entire metropolises suspended in the sky. While the first instinct might be to think of parallel universes or alien invasions, the true cause is a natural phenomenon known as fata morgana. A fata morgana is a complex type of mirage that occurs when layers of air at different temperatures create a refractive effect, bending light in such a way that distant objects, such as buildings or ships, appear higher in the sky than they actually are. This phenomenon distorts and stretches the image, making it look like a city is floating above the horizon. Number 18. The Doubletree of Cassoro. Nestled between the quaint towns of Grana and Cassoro in Piedmont, Italy, stands a marvel of nature that looks as if it's been lifted from the pages of a fantasy novel. This is the Doubletree of Cassoro, locally known as Bialbero de Cassoro. What makes it so fascinating isn't just its unique appearance, but the fact that it comprises 2 distinct species, a cherry tree growing directly atop a mulberry tree. This botanical wonder is a striking example of a natural graft, where the cherry tree, seeded by perhaps a passing bird or a whimsical twist of fate, has taken root atop the mulberry. Over the years, it has grown its roots through the hollow trunk of its host, reaching down to the soil below to draw nutrients. The result is a flourishing cherry tree that seems to magically emerge from the middle of the mulberry. The cherry branches extend outward, draped elegantly over the robust frame of the mulberry, creating a living sculpture that changes with the seasons, from the lush green of spring to the fiery red of autumn. Number 17. Blood Falls. In the icy realm of Antarctica, there's a haunting sight that has captivated and puzzled explorers for over a century. This eerie waterfall, located at the tongue of Taylor Glacier, spills out a deep, crimson-colored liquid that starkly contrasts with the surrounding whiteness of the ice. The blood-red color comes not from algae, as initially thought, but from iron-rich water that oxidizes upon contact with the air, much like how iron rusts. This water has been trapped in an ancient reservoir beneath the glacier for millions of years, isolated from light and oxygen. When it finally emerges, it reacts with the oxygen in the atmosphere, creating the chilling blood-red effect that has fascinated scientists and adventurers alike. Number 16. Eternal Flame Falls. Nestled within the lush greenery of Chestnut Ridge Park in New York, the Eternal Flame Falls offers a sight unlike any other. Here, behind the cascade of water, a small, flickering flame burns brightly, fueled by natural gas seeping from deep within the earth. This flame is not just a trick of nature, but a phenomenon where the elements of fire and water coexist in harmony. While the flame occasionally extinguishes, hikers often reignite it, keeping the legend of the eternal flame alive. The gas fueling this flame is thought to have been ignited by Native Americans thousands of years ago, creating a lasting spectacle that continues to draw visitors from around the world. The juxtaposition of fire burning within a waterfall creates an almost mythical scene, making it a must-see for nature enthusiasts. Number 15. Blood Rain. Blood rain is as eerie as it sounds, a phenomenon where raindrops appear to be colored red, giving the unsettling impression that the skies are bleeding. This strange occurrence has been documented across the world, with the most well-known cases occurring in places like Kerala, India, and parts of Europe. The science behind blood rain varies depending on the region. In Europe, the phenomenon is typically caused by fine particles of red sand from the Sahara Desert being lifted into the atmosphere by strong winds and then mixing with rain clouds. When these sand-laden clouds release rain, the water appears red as it falls, creating the spectacle known as blood rain. In contrast, the 2001 incident in Kerala had a different cause. Scientists discovered that the red coloration was due to spores from a local type of algae called Trentipolia. These spores were released into the atmosphere in large quantities during a period of heavy rain, coloring the water as it fell. Number 14. Skyquake. Skyquakes are one of the most unsettling and mysterious phenomena reported around the world. These sudden, thunderous booms seemingly originate from the sky with no clear source. Unlike a typical thunderclap or sonic boom, skyquakes often occur on clear, calm days, leaving witnesses baffled and concerned. Theories about their origin range from natural causes like distant earthquakes, meteors entering the atmosphere, and gas escaping from underground vents, to more human-induced causes such as military aircraft breaking the sound barrier. However, none of these explanations fully account for the phenomenon, especially considering reports of skyquakes date back centuries, long before modern aircraft or industrial activities. One of the most famous skyquakes is known as the Seneca Guns, frequently heard around Seneca Lake in New York. Descriptions of these booms match those heard in various coastal areas worldwide, often likened to the sound of distant cannon fire. Despite numerous investigations and a multitude of theories, the true cause of skyquakes remains elusive, making them a persistent and eerie mystery in atmospheric science. Number 13. Crooked Forest. In a quiet corner of northwestern Poland lies the Crooked Forest, a a grove of about 400 pine trees that all share a peculiar trait. They are bent sharply at the base, curving into near-perfect semicircles before reaching upwards. What makes this forest even more mysterious is that all the trees exhibit this strange, uniform curvature, despite being surrounded by straight-growing pines. The trees were likely planted around 1930, but exactly why or how they became so crooked is a mystery that endures to this day. Several theories have been proposed to explain the crooked forest. Some suggest that the trees were deliberately manipulated by humans, possibly to create naturally curved wood for shipbuilding or furniture making, but the onset of World War II may have disrupted these plans. Others believe natural causes like heavy snowfall or a freak storm might have bent the trees when they were saplings. Yet, without definitive evidence, the true reason for the forest's unique appearance remains a subject of speculation and intrigue. Number 12. The Devil's Kettle. Deep in the Judge C.R. Magny State Park in Minnesota, there's a geological anomaly that has left even seasoned hydrologists scratching their heads. Here, the Brule River splits into two as it cascades over a rocky cliff. One half of the river follows a conventional path, tumbling down a waterfall and continuing downstream. But the other half plunges into a mysterious hole, known as the Devil's Kettle, and seemingly vanishes without a trace. For years, researchers have tried to determine where this water reemerges, tossing in dye, ping-pong balls, and even GPS trackers, only for them to disappear as if the earth had swallowed them whole. Recent studies suggest that the water might not vanish entirely, but instead rejoin the main river underground, emerging somewhere along the riverbed. However, the exact mechanisms remain elusive, adding to the mystique of this natural wonder. Despite numerous theories, including the idea that the water seeps out into Lake Superior, the precise exit point has yet to be conclusively identified. Number 11. The Great Blue Hole. About 60 miles off the coast of Belize, the Great Blue Hole stands as one of the most stunning natural phenomena on Earth. This massive marine sinkhole, measuring 1,000 feet across and over 400 feet deep, formed thousands of years ago when a limestone cave system collapsed, creating this vast, submerged chasm. The Great Blue Hole gained international fame thanks to the legendary explorer Jacques Cousteau, who declared it one of the top diving sites in the world. The sinkhole's beauty is matched by its mystery. Recent expeditions, including one in 2018, revealed a layer of toxic hydrogen sulfide at a depth of about 300 feet. Below this layer, the water is completely devoid of oxygen, creating a lifeless, eerie environment where conch shells and even the remains of unfortunate divers lie undisturbed. Number 10. Spotted Lake. In British Columbia, Canada, lies a lake that looks as though it belongs in a surrealist painting, rather than in nature. Spotted Lake, known to the indigenous Okanagan people as Kliluk, is renowned for its striking appearance, especially during the hot summer months. As the water in the lake evaporates, it leaves behind mineral-rich deposits that form large, circular spots of various colors, ranging from yellow and green to deep blue. The lake's unique composition is rich in minerals like magnesium sulfate, calcium, and sodium sulfates, which crystallize and create the colorful patterns that make the lake so distinctive. But Spotted Lake is more than just a visual marvel. It has long been considered a sacred site by the Okanagan Nation, who believe the lake's waters have healing properties. The mineral deposits are so concentrated that historically, they were harvested for use in munitions during World War I. Today, the lake is protected, and while visitors can view it from a distance, access to the water is restricted to preserve its unique ecology and cultural significance. Number 9. Pando. Deep in Utah's Fish Lake National Forest, you'll find one of the most remarkable living organisms on Earth, a clonal colony of quaking aspen trees known as Pando, or the Trembling Giant. This ancient grove isn't just a group of trees. It's a single organism, all connected by an extensive underground root system that spans over 100 acres. With approximately 47,000 individual stems, Pando is considered one of the oldest and heaviest organisms in the world, estimated to be thousands, possibly tens of thousands, of years old. Pando's survival strategy is fascinating. Instead of relying solely on seeds, it primarily reproduces through a process called suckering, where new shoots emerge from the sprawling root system. This method of clonal reproduction has allowed Pando to persist through countless environmental changes, from wildfires to droughts. However, Pando is currently facing significant challenges. Overgrazing by deer and elk, along with human activities, have threatened its ability to regenerate. Conservation efforts, including fencing off parts of the grove, are ongoing to protect this natural wonder for future generations. Number 8. Perfect iceberg. When you think of icebergs, the image that likely comes to mind is one of irregular, jagged chunks of ice floating in the ocean. However, every now and then, nature crafts something extraordinary, a perfect, geometric iceberg. In 2018, a striking example of this was captured in Antarctica, a rectangular iceberg with sharp, clean lines that looked like it had been cut with a giant icy knife. These perfect icebergs, also known as tabular icebergs, form when a large chunk of ice breaks off from an ice shelf, particularly one that is already relatively flat and uniform. The straight edges and flat surfaces occur because the iceberg's formation process is influenced by the natural fractures and stress lines within the ice shelf. These geometric marvels can float for years, slowly eroding and breaking apart, but their initial perfection is a testament to the sometimes precise artistry of nature. Number 7. Seafoam. Ever walked along the beach and noticed the shore covered in thick, frothy foam? It might look fun to splash around in, but seafoam is one of nature's more curious creations, and its origins are still a bit of a puzzle. Seafoam forms when the ocean is churned up by wind and waves, mixing air with organic matter in the water like plankton, algae, and salts. But not all foam is the same, and sometimes it appears in vast quantities, stretching for miles along the coast. What's particularly strange about seafoam is that it can sometimes take on bizarre colors, like bright orange or red, due to algal blooms. While most of the time it's harmless, there are instances when the foam is linked to harmful algal blooms, which release toxins that can be dangerous to both marine life and humans. Scientists have observed massive sea foam events in places like the coast of Australia, where entire beaches are buried under meters of foam. The phenomenon remains an intriguing aspect of oceanography, as researchers continue to study how and why these large-scale foam events occur and what implications they might have for marine ecosystems. Number 6. Rogue waves. Rogue waves are the ocean's version of a nightmare, a sudden, towering wall of water that can appear out of nowhere, dwarfing surrounding waves and wreaking havoc on anything in its path. These waves, which can reach heights of over 80 feet, are caused by a complex interplay of wind, currents, and wave patterns. Unlike tsunamis, which are triggered by seismic activity, rogue waves arise spontaneously due to constructive interference, where multiple smaller waves combine to create a massive, singular swell. Recent research has shown that strong winds play a crucial role in generating these waves, particularly in volatile regions like the Southern Ocean. As global climate trends suggest increasing wind speeds, the frequency and intensity of rogue waves could rise, posing greater threats to ships and coastal structures. Despite advancements in predictive models, rogue waves remain difficult to forecast, making them one of the ocean's most dangerous and unpredictable phenomena. Before we move on, here's today's subscriber's pick. As storms unleash their fury on the seas of New South Wales and Queensland, Australia, a mesmerizing but perilous spectacle unfolds. Instead of the towering waves of a massive tsunami, the ocean transforms into a vast expanse of sea foam. This isn't just any foam. It's a frothy sea that resembles a gigantic pool of whipped cream, disguising the dangers lurking beneath. Snakes can be anywhere, and this natural phenomenon proves it. Venomous sea snakes, nearly invisible under the blanket of foam, call this treacherous water home. While these snakes rarely cause fatal bites, the obscured waters make it perilous for anyone venturing too close. It's a stark reminder of nature's dual beauty and danger, captivating and cautioning us against the unseen. What are your thoughts on this stunning yet sinister natural event? Let us know in the comments section below. Number 5. Morning glory clouds. Stretching across the sky like rolling tubes of mist, morning glory clouds are among the rarest and most mesmerizing weather phenomena on Earth. These clouds, which can be up to 1 mile high and over 600 miles long, glide through the sky at speeds of 25 miles per hour. Scientists are still scratching their heads over how these atmospheric anomalies form. Found mainly over Australia's Gulf of Carpentaria, these clouds have become a haven for thrill-seeking gliders who surf their edges, riding the winds like waves on an invisible ocean. While some believe the clouds result from a unique combination of sea breezes and humidity changes, no one has been able to predict when or where they will appear. It's like the sky's own version of a magic trick, always surprising and never fully understood. Number 4. Luminescent waves. When the ocean comes alive with a ghostly blue glow, you're witnessing one of the most magical displays nature has to offer. This phenomenon occurs when tiny marine organisms called dinoflagellates, a type of plankton, emit light through a chemical reaction known as bioluminescence. As these organisms are disturbed by the movement of waves or a passing boat, they light up, creating a dazzling neon spectacle that illuminates the shoreline. The intensity of the glow can vary, with some nights transforming entire beaches into a surreal, glowing landscape. Luminescent waves are most commonly seen in warm coastal regions like the Maldives, Puerto Rico, and certain parts of California. Number 3. Green sand beaches. In a world filled with golden and white sand beaches, a green sand beach stands out as a true marvel of nature. One of the most famous examples is Papakolea Beach on the Big Island of Hawaii. The vibrant green color of the sand comes from a mineral called olivine, which is rich in magnesium and iron. This mineral is a remnant of the volcanic activity that shaped the island, as the nearby Mauna Loa volcano spewed out lava rich in olivine thousands of years ago. Over time, the olivine was broken down and mixed with the sand, giving the beach its distinctive hue. Walking on green sand is like stepping into another world, where the forces of nature have combined to create something truly extraordinary. It's a rare and beautiful sight, one that's worth the journey for those who seek out the wonders of our planet. Number 2. Fairy circles. In the vast, arid expanses of Namibia's Namib Desert, you'll find one of nature's most captivating puzzles: fairy circles. These circular patches of barren land, surrounded by rings of grass, stretch across the landscape like giant polka dots. For years, scientists have debated their origin, with theories ranging from termite activity to extraterrestrial interference. However, recent studies have shed more light on this enigmatic phenomenon. The latest research suggests that the circles are the result of a self-organizing process driven by plant water stress. In these harsh environments, competition for water is fierce. The grasses on the edges of these circles grow stronger, their roots tapping into deeper soil layers, effectively starving the plants in the center of water. This creates the circular, barren patches we see, as the stressed plants inside the circle die off, leaving behind the distinct formations that have fascinated scientists and travelers alike. While termites may play a role in some regions, the primary driver appears to be this competitive, self-organizing behavior of the vegetation. Number 1. Rainbow eucalyptus. In the lush rainforests of Southeast Asia and the Pacific Islands, you'll find one of nature's most vibrant masterpieces. the rainbow eucalyptus, or Eucalyptus deglupta. This tree, which can tower up to 250 feet tall, is renowned not for its height, but for its breathtaking, multicolored bark. As the outer layers of bark peel away, they reveal a spectrum of colors underneath, starting with bright green, which gradually turns to blue, purple, orange, and maroon as it ages. This natural process results in a constantly changing kaleidoscope of colors, making each tree a unique living artwork. Beyond its visual appeal, the rainbow eucalyptus plays a vital role in its native ecosystems, providing habitat for a diverse range of wildlife. The tree is also highly valued for its fast growth and durable wood used in construction and furniture making. While it thrives in tropical rainforests, it has also been cultivated in gardens and parks worldwide, where its striking appearance never fails to capture the imagination. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.